The Elgato Wave 1 was released in June of 2020 and is positioned as a really strong competitor for the Blue Yeti, a really popular intro mic for content creators. But does the Elgato Wave, this guy right here, does this hold up? Is this the mic that you should actually be buying for your YouTube or your Twitch streams? Let's talk about it. First off, let's talk about internal hardware. The Wave 1 boasts superior circuitry, an internal pop filter, and anti-clipping technology with noise cancellation. Superior circuitry basically means that this isn't an XLR microphone. You don't need a mixer. All of the physical components to run the microphone are included inside of the actual mic itself. We'll talk a little bit more about USB versus XLR mics later on. An internal pop filter just means that the pop filter is internal, right? You don't need a physical shield like you need with different microphones, this one, the 512 Audio Skylight, in order to protect your mic from those harsh P and T sounds. And then of course, noise cancellation and anti-clipping means that a lot has gone into this microphone to make it sound really great without you having to do a bunch of adjustments in post-production. But I don't just want to say these things are good, I want to actually show you. So let's do a test of the internal pop filter and the noise cancellation right now. Okay, you can see right now that the mic is about 8 inches away from my face. So now I'm just gonna start with some harsh P and T sounds to see how well this mic does with filtering those pops. Puh, 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 puh. Tss, tss, tss. Ooh, I don't know if it did that well. Okay, I just reviewed it back. That actually was shockingly good compared to other mics that I have reviewed, so cool. Now for the noise cancellation, I'm just gonna pick up some things on my desk, like I've got little nail polishes and stuff, and I'm gonna sit them down and see what happens. Some typing. Moving the mic. My phone. You couldn't hear the typing at all. What did you do, Elgato? How do y'all know exactly what a keyboard sounds like? What? Whenever it comes to the external hardware, Elgato again keeps it very simple and minimal, which I can really respect. This isn't a very loud microphone. Oh, that pun was definitely intended. It's just very sleek and nice. It's got a USB-C port on the back with a headphone jack. Of course, this is a USB microphone. I think it comes with about an 8-foot or a 10-foot USB cable, which is very long compared to other tech that you might get. The mic can lean at about a 45-degree angle. It doesn't seem to be going back much more than that, but that's perfectly fine if you're gonna sit this on your desk and you want it to point up towards your face. And then there's also a button on the front, there you go, right there, that you can push and mute yourself. Another thing that's super cool is that the Elgato Wave 1 is modular, which means you can attach it to a boom arm and use it like this if you don't want to sit it on your desk. Though I will say the reason most people don't want to sit mics on their desk, especially condenser mics like the Elgato Wave 1, is because they don't want to pick up the room noises. So like clicking on the keyboard, moving the nail polishes around. And this mic doesn't really have quite as much of an issue with that as the Blue Yeti. The hardware in this mic is really great, but I gotta say, software is where Elgato shines. So this is Spotify right next to Elgato's Wavelink software. The reason Wavelink is so freaking cool is because you can actually mix up to 8 audio sources and control the output for all of them. This means that you can adjust whether you or your viewers can hear your alerts, your music, your in-game audio, your microphone even. So if you wanted to play something on Spotify while you were also streaming, but you can't because DMCA is a whole thing and there's not really a ton that Twitch has done about it, then you're able to do that. All right, so I'm actually really pleased with the Elgato Wave 1 so far, but let's talk about the difference between an XLR microphone, which is what I typically use, let's say like the 512 Audio Limelight. This is actually a dynamic XLR microphone microphone or a USB microphone like the Blue Yeti or of course the Elgato Wave products. So there are pros and cons to both. USB microphones are super easy. They are intro level, but they're nice for a reason and popular for a reason too. It's very easy to just plug in a USB mic and not have to worry about getting a mixer and getting XLR cables. They usually always include USB cables, so you get a microphone and it just works. But the pro to XLR is that they usually sound a little bit better, though most people are not going to notice the difference. And also you can switch out all of those components. So if at some point you have a mixer but you want to get a different one because Elgato came out with a really cool Wave XLR, then you can do that. So it's really nice to be able to switch out products in your setup and continue to improve the audio quality that you've got for your content. There's nothing wrong with USB mics, especially if you're a newer or maybe even a smaller content creator. Eventually you might want to upgrade to an XLR just because it is seen as more professional. They sound a little bit better and they give you more control. But ultimately the decision is up to you and what feels comfortable for you. Now it comes down to the ultimate test, right? Do I actually recommend the Elgato Wave 1? I will say at this point, for a condenser microphone, this is a really great pickup. It's $130, so relatively cheap. That price point puts it in the same league as the Blue Yeti. So this is a really good microphone for intro streamers, whether you decide to go with this one or if you want to get the Blue Yeti or if you want to get a 512 mic. There are a lot of intro mics kind of in this same space, but honestly, because of the software and because the Elgato products all work so beautifully well together, if you do plan to invest in a microphone, this is definitely going to be one of my top recommendations for newer or smaller creators. If you'd like to pick up the Elgato Wave 1 for yourself, you can do that with the links down below. Highly recommend buying through the Elgato website and not going through Amazon if at all possible. We want to support companies that are creating products for streamers and that genuinely want to support us instead of just throwing more money into the pockets of Big Daddy Jeff Bezos. I also highly recommend, if you are a content creator, especially a gaming content creator, that you pick up a couple of introductory Elgato products for yourself, or maybe reach out to the brand and see if you're at the level where they would be interested in working with you and maybe sending you a couple of things. The reason for this is because you as a content creator are kind of judged by the company that you keep. Perception is everything, and so if you're partnering with a really strong brand with a lot of credibility like Elgato, that can go a long way towards building the perception of your brand as being high quality and awesome as well. I'm actually helping a lot of smaller streamers and content creators get partnered with brands over on my TikTok, so make sure to go and follow me over there, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!